know the true weight of a pound of flesh, how much a heart can take, how to ease yourself down part by part. It's not easy to divide yourself so. It's not easy to walk with so much power in your flesh.
I am so grateful to be here for Yardstick because for me, it's very, I know there's some people who write and they write from a very kind of isolated position. I write from community, and so community is really important to me. And so an opportunity like this, first and foremost, for me means being in a community of writers. And there's just something about that just replenishes and rejuvenates, and you find out that there are other people who are on the same journey regardless of where in the world they're from, and you realize that there are also shared experiences. So that's wonderful. And then you also get to bring your work to a wider audience to get feedback. So yeah, it's been wonderful. One of the things I love about Yardstick is that we have the poetry readings, the prose readings, but we also have these panels. So even being on that panel with the rural versus urban, it was interesting that to be, it was two Jamaicans and we were on the panel with two African writers. And it was interesting to know that there's so many similarities in terms of rural and urban, but there are also distinct differences, between the African experience and the Jamaican experience. So I really love that Yardstick gives us that opportunity to do the panels plus the readings.
Well, with these kind of festivals, the beauty for me as a writer is not just the performance, and meeting and interacting with the audience, but for us, the things that happen when we get together in the evenings and talk with other writers and talk shop, and make connections. So far I've met writers like Jamal Safari and Wasan, and we have talked about about translating each other's work. We are now aware of each other's work, and just building a sort of a general, like a general consensus of what we should be doing as writers. Not an agreement, but just, creating an energy that's moving in the same direction.
We have a way of referring to every single flower that was ever created in creation as a roses. So if you would give a Jamaican a bouquet of anthuriums, asters, peonies, they will say, thank you for these roses. Which I think is good because it means all flowers are equal. To us, all flowers are roses. That's for Asif.
Well, it's my second time at Yardstick. I was here last year as well, and I'm so happy to be invited back this year. This year is a slightly different festival. It's bigger. There are more writers and more readers. So it's growing. Yardstick is growing, and we can only hope it continues to grow and get bigger and bigger. I'm not going to say better because I thought it was wonderful.
It means great to me because it gives me the opportunity to visit Bristol and Bath for the first time. It also has given me the opportunity to meet very wonderful people who have also distinguished themselves as writers and artists. And it gives me the necessary connection that I need to go to the next level as a writer. And above all, it celebrates my work, and we don't get celebrated where I come from, and it's wonderful that several hundred miles away in Europe, my work is being celebrated. Nobody has celebrated it in Nigeria, even though it is a Nigerian story. So I feel highly honored to be part of this.
It's an honor to be at the second Yardstick Festival. For me personally, it's been like a sanctuary. I've got to meet some very prominent writers that in my day-to-day living I only get to see on my shelf. It's been an eye-opener, and it's inspired some new work. So I mean, it's been a win-win on all levels for me, really. you know. I think the Yardstick Festival is a genius concept. It brings talented writers from the diasporas to meet, to coalesce together, to discuss, to enter in dialogue, to open up new ideas, to share their work, to be inspired. Wherever that alchemy is happening, only good things can come from it. I already feel invigorated, you know, not only just to finish this collection, but I'm already starting to get ideas for my second collection. So if that's what it's doing for me, and I've only been here, this is only a weekend. I mean, you know, what could happen if this was a week-long festival? You know, what would happen if we had double the amount of writers? There's so much that could happen here. And I have a lot to be thankful for being at the Yardstick Festival.
This opportunity as new writers to meet and to get that recognition, because you feel proud when you meet others and you say, oh, I read about you, is this you know? I think it's great, and I think it should be something that should be encouraged to carry on, bring writers together, because that's the only way, you know, you find inspiration through that, and just having that moment of really reflect on your own work, personal work. For example, I'm reading, so meaning I have to go back to my work and think about it. What does it mean to me? I'll be part of a panel of discussion. I have to go back and think about my own writing. That reflection, that time to reflect, it's really a luxury for a writer. So it's really an incredible moment, and I thank really people who organize this, and it should carry on. I'd love to see more of this kind of festival. Yardstick is really fantastic.
It provides a platform for one to read work to the broader public, and also when you write in your own space, in your own solitude, it can be quite difficult, it can be oppressive, it can be depressing. Because I suppose writers, when they do write, there's a part of them that wants somebody to hear what they have written. So platforms like these are quite important for me. One, to actually try work out, and secondly, to really express myself on another level. And also thirdly, because especially I would say, I would call it, because it's more, Yardstick Festival is focused on African writing, or writing that's related to Africa somewhat. It's important that that voice is captured in terms of sharing it with the broader world, you know. So in that sense as well, it's great.
I think most of the writers were here. We had some really moving tributes to the festival from the writers who took part, you know. People just felt that it was a, you know, just to be able to meet with people who were, you know, from the continent of Africa, and people who are, you know, what they call them, there's a lovely name that Asif Khan gave to the readings. What did he call them? Diaspora, something griots, globe-trotting griots. And I suspect that name, that is going to catch on. People will now refer to themselves as globe-trotting griots, because that is in fact what a lot of us are. We live and work in a number of different places.
I was talking to Lorna Goodison. I mean, I think that's partly my blessing. I think her being here, me getting to meet her, I think she's been like a blessing to me. And we were talking about the calling of a writer. I definitely feel I have that calling. I really hope that it is something that I can live my life by, you know, and you know, and make a difference in the world. You know, Lorna spoke about how we are adding to the canvas of humanity, and so I'd like to do that with my work. I'd like to have my work explore important themes, not just to myself, but to my culture. You know, I mean, funny enough, my daughter's a good writer. She's only 8 years old, so I'd like to inspire her. You know, not necessarily to become a writer, but to be inspired by language. I really would like to travel the world and meet other great writers. You know, writers who, like I say, sit on my shelf. They inspire me. I'd love to enter in dialogue with them. I'd love to expand the understanding of the African writer to the world. You know, I'm proud to be African, and I feel that the voice of the African writer is one that people want to hear.